Welcome to video 3 of our weekly Bachata Shine. Today is the body movement 8 count. Let's go over the 3 kinds of movement we're putting together, and then we'll look at the fluidity of it. So the first movement is a hip circle. I like to call this the hula hoop hip circle because obviously it looks like a hula hoop. But the relationship we want to be aware of is the relationship between the knee and the hip. So if the knee bends, the hip goes down with the knee. If the knee straightens and pushes back, then the hip goes back. We want to use that relationship because it uses the power of the legs and the core to move the hips rather than the low back. So in order to help our body feel safe and not arch or dip into these hip circles, we want to use the knees, grounding through the feet, and then pressing the hips back from the thigh, if that makes sense. And then when the hips go back, 2 things. We want to stay lifted through the chest so that we don't collapse into the hips. Sometimes when I see hip circles, the hips go down and then the shoulders come up. So keep this elevated and buoyant. And also if you want to add a little bit more emphasis, the chest can also counterbalance by going forward as the hips go back, like this. So you can either stay upright or you can a little bit, but it comes from a first initial bend and then a takeoff with a straight knee. Lastly, so it looks graceful, we want to make sure that our feet are basically underneath our shoulders, not wider for a move like this. So in other words, we would be here rather than here. Yeah. So this first movement is our hula hoop hips. The next one is a lateral hip circle, and it comes after our hula hoop. So this here, it's a lateral hip swing. I also call it the smiley face because it looks like a smiley face to me. But all the same rules apply. Hips connected to the knees, feet underneath the shoulders, swinging side to side. There's usually a bit of a weight transfer that happens here so that we are aware of our body moving, especially if we're moving from hula hoop to the other side. So for example, this one is going to move from the left hip to the right hip. And now I have 80% of my weight on my right and only 20 here. In other words, I'm not centered or split weight. So these are side to side. We use the knees and we use the sides of the back to pull and accentuate. We can dip down, and that's all from the knees and the feet. If we put those together, we have hula hoop. And once I hit the range of motion on this side, we drop and sweep. At this point, in order to rise from this lateral swing here, the smiley face, we cascade up the body in a sequence. Knee, hip, waist, rib cage, shoulder, head. So left, dip down right, 1 point at a time, pushing from the toe on this side, the ball of the foot, so we stay grounded and we're still rooting into the floor in order to rise. So that is hula hoop, smiley face. Okay, and then the last movement we're doing is a bit of a body wave led from the shoulder and the chest. So the chest comes forward. That's just a basic rotation. It lifts from the base of the rib cage, not the shoulder. So make sure you're lifting from inside the body and the shoulders stay down. And then once we've done that, we go forward up, we scoop it back here, and then it comes arched. Put the heel down, use your knees bending to give your hips the swing, the settle, and the collect. Chest goes forward, up, back, arch, knees to allow the hips to move, and collect. So let's put those 3 together. We have hula hoop, smiley face, chest, wave, down, collect. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the hands, they'll be relaxed in front of you if you'd like. You can also rest them on the hips or on the hip points, especially for something like a hip circle. You can swing out and stay on the hips and relax your fingers onto the body and then release if you like. Also, last note for counts for this one, you can make it 2 counts, 2 counts, 4. You can also do whatever the music is calling for. So this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and whatever the music says. So I hope this is helpful. Check out the other videos, and then the last video will be posted in the next few days. Thank you for dancing with me. Please feel free also to join me in person on Saturdays. And lots of love. Have a gorgeous day.